It's a swinging in the pixie. Hello, wonderful people. Today, we're gonna implement something that we can see currently on the background. The idea is that we have this nice keyboard that we purchased, but we cannot really play the music. What can we do with that? Maybe we can do something interesting. What I came up with is to create some sort of a predetermined behaviors for my characters so they can be more expressive during the streams and during the animation, just to streamline the process a little bit. So what I'm talking about, we see on the background the keyboard. And if I press this button on the keyboard, here's what happens. Bunny's thinking, what's going on? And the idea is that we can do more and more of this functionality, and we can get our character more and more expressive, and we can do it live while we are talking with everybody else, which is already a big step forward because we can play much more with the character and we can start develop much better understanding how it moves and how it's supposed to move, what people like. We can test, and this is always much better. So we can see that our character is still fairly basic. I mean, we do have the arm flips that defined by these two R's, and with even that is leading to a little bit of a dancing. But I am not quite sure if that's enough. For that reason, we will implement a couple of things. One of the things would be levels. This is first level of thinking. Just a little bit of like, what's going on? I'll need to think about it. But let's build on that. If we say level 2, that would maybe some sort of behavior like this, maybe even looking up. This is one of the things with the character animator. We cannot really control our eyes too well with while presenting, but I actually make some of the hacks that can do with that. Look up. Oh, but sometimes it's a little bit too much when it's combined with my eyes, so I need to be careful with that. Look left. My program does work, but you actually need to be careful to look to the center or it doesn't work properly. But let's see if we can hack around it better in the future. The idea is that thinking levels, thinking level 2, maybe some sort of another expression where it's like, all right, a little bit more of a think. And level 3 is always like, all right, this is a deep think tank, and we will have different levels of expression for each one. So the level of reaction is actually appropriate to whatever is going on out there. When it comes to expression on a face itself, right now all my characters, but the bunny specifically, is extremely happy all the time. And this is fine, but this is not what we want if we want to have the range of emotions that is really necessarily to portray a lot of things. So we will have the easy to go switch where we can just, even during one word, just flip between happy and sad mouse. Even that would be helpful, but we will see if we will have more complicated swap sets. And we'll go over what the swap sets, etc. And from that point, we also have the animation and movement of sad, also 3 levels, from just sad all the way to burst out in tears. And same with happy, all the way from yay, all the way to yeah! I think the sounds should be a little bit different, but you get the idea. Bored is just 2 levels are enough because Bunny is very expressive. First level of bored is like, and the second level is pretty much dead bored, like, just get out of me. I don't want to speak to you. 3 dances, dancing from chill to fun to some sort of intense dancing when it's celebratory. We will see what would better to put out there. And the last things that we have is 3 levels of angry and different things that we can do when it comes to like specific tricks and behaviors. So it can be stretching, like yawning situation, or it can be a deep breath, like calm down, bunny. or it can be just sleeping, concentrating. Also, as we can notice, if we look a little bit more to the top of the screen, we can see that there are also some knobs, and knobs is what allows me to move the bunny on a screen. So X and Y position, scale, rotation, wind and gravity right now only affect ears, so we can have a little bit more of a wind and it's gonna blow towards this direction, and we can turn it off or we can keep it on. Let's turn it off to just compare it with gravity. So as we increase gravity, the ears go down, it's getting heavier, and we can do it at the same time as we do in wind. So that really helps us sell when the character getting more tired, as opposed to like when the ears just straight up and like, hey guys, I'm ready to go. And also when the gravity is heavier, when it comes to the dancing, it's a little bit more pronounced. So this also can be useful sometimes. So let's see if we can use it in conjunctions with some other animations. Pose-to-pose duration is the snappiness. So when I move, you can see that the character is kind of snapped to the pose, but I can turn it all the way down, and then my character will start move much more smooth. And I call it the dancing mode, because you can really start grooving like this. Because as you're bobbing your head, your character really starts to bob with you. Okay, so a bunny, I love it so much. I can just do that. And the reset position is just to get back to certain place, so we can have this trigger where it's very easy for to put character to the bottom right of the screen where it usually lives, and also in appropriate scale. It's kind of sad that you need to use a knob for that and you cannot use any sort of a button, but this is where we are right now with Character Animator. And those buttons are a couple of extra reactions, so praying, please don't let it happen, the clapping, yay, I did it, very cool, and facepalm. And we can also swap between our characters. And I'm not quite sure about this part. My idea is to use the joystick to be able to control hands a little bit as I am performing, because I don't plan to have the character animator open all the time. I basically want to work in other things and I want to control my character with some MIDI devices. As we can see, currently what is ready, not everything, but quite a bit. We have all these guys just fully ready. These guys live here right now, but we can move it, it's not a problem. Basically, this is ready, and this is ready, and these two guys. Today, we will be concentrating on developing sad, happy faces to be able to express much more with our character.